Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. It is a lovely day. I'm super excited because I am planning my next European vacation. Many of you know that I recently came back from a trip with my two daughters from the lovely island of Madeira, which is off the coast of Portugal. We had such a great time. So we are now preparing, I have my laptop out for our next trip. I don't know when it will be or where we will be going, but I did want to pop on today and share with you some things I learned during my trip about traveling abroad. These are really essential things, but they will definitely make a huge difference if you're planning on going on a trip abroad. So I'm here to share today so that you don't make some of the mistakes I made without this knowledge. Let's get started. Special thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Ghost VPN. A VPN is a very important travel necessity. For those of you who are unfamiliar with what a VPN is, let me take a minute to explain. A VPN is essential every time you go online. Thousands of eyes are watching you, remember that. And even incognito mode doesn't help with that. So every time you go online, your work, your school, your service provider, even your Wi-Fi router can see what you're doing online. And that's where Ghost VPN can come in handy. With over 38 million users worldwide and over 20,000 excellent reviews on Trustpilot, it's one of the best VPNs out there. And it really gave me peace of mind during my recent trip abroad. Simply select one of their over 100 locations before you browse, and it will encrypt and reroute all of your traffic through their secure servers. This way, no one will even know about your online activity. Ghost also unlocks geo-restricted games and content from over 40 streaming platforms, such as Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney+. You can even score deals online by simply changing your virtual location. It works on all major devices and operating systems, including Windows, Mac OS, Android, and iOS. And you can protect up to 7 devices at the same time. So it's perfect for sharing with family and friends. With the link in my description, you get their best deal ever. It's just $2.03 per month, plus you get 4 months free. That's 84% off. There's even a 45-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose if you try it. It's a great product, and I definitely recommend it. Okay, so now let's get on to my tips. The first thing I want to mention is in advance of your trip, please look up the visa and passport requirements for the country you're going to. They are not all the same, and some of them have to be done well in advance of the others. So you don't want to have any surprises. For me, I have a 10-year passport, but most countries in Europe want me to have that renewed before 6 months of expiry date. So mine's coming up soon, and I will make sure to do that. There's also something called a Schengen visa, which allows you to travel from country to country within countries that are under that arrangement. But again, this really varies on where you're going, how long you're going for. Is it a student visa, a travel visa, work, whatever the specific purpose of your trip is. So really important. I know it's exciting to travel. Don't forget to do that. That's the first thing that I want to mention. My second tip is all about communication. So for those of you who have traveled to a foreign country who do not speak the native language, it's always a bit scary, intimidating. So what I like to do is to download a translation app on my phone. I have easy accessibility to it. I also like in advance to learn some of the common phrases so that I'm not always on my app when I'm trying to communicate. I think that's really helpful. And then my daughter actually had a great tip for me, which I used, because when you get into the airport, you sometimes will try to explain where the hotel is, the name of the hotel. And don't forget, if they don't speak your language, they're not going to understand you. So I brought a piece of paper and little Post-it notes. And whenever I had to go somewhere and the driver didn't understand me, I just wrote it down. And that was super helpful. Even though I'm saying things sometimes the correct way, I do have a relatively noticeable accent from New York because that's where I lived my whole life. So sometimes that complicates it even more. My next tip is about this. This is, as many of you know, a travel adapter. Now, I've always had one of these, but I've usually gone over to the UK because I used to go there a lot on business. So I brought my UK travel adapter to Portugal. What I didn't know was it didn't work. I didn't realize that different countries have different adapters. Really silly. I'm a little embarrassed about that, but hey, I learned it, better late than never. So wanted to share that with you. Before you go out and buy one of these, make sure you know what country uses which adapter. And by the way, you get them on Amazon, they're pretty cheap, and now I have a whole drawer full of them. My last trip is about currency and foreign exchange. So again, this is something that I learned. I decided that I was going to be smart this time about traveling, to bring some of the local currency with me. So I went to my bank, the bank I bank at all the time, a few days before my trip, and I was told they need to order the currency. I did not know that. I just assumed that banks have these on hand, but I was also kind of disappointed because it was going to take them a few days to get it in, and when I went, it was the weekend before a holiday, which meant it would take them even longer, so I couldn't get the currency at my bank. I ended up finding a foreign currency online. It was at my local mall, but I did have to pay a higher exchange rate. So my suggestion there is try to get your currency a minimum of 10 days in advance of your trip. I also learned that banks don't always have the best rates. I think it's important to go online to research what the actual rate is, the exchange rate is, and then see what your options are. Also, don't forget, if you don't use all of the currency when you're traveling and you bring it back home with you, you then have to exchange it again. And what happens is the bank or the exchange will take more of a deduction out. So if you're not careful about planning how much you think you're going to need, number one, you're going to pay a lot when you exchange it. And then when you come back and you're exchanging it again, you will get more money deducted. So that could actually add up quite significantly. Anyway, these are just some of the things that I learned, and I hope you get to travel somewhere. It is so much fun. It is really, in my opinion, one of life's greatest gifts that you can give yourself to see the world. I hope that the tips that I have shared have been helpful to you on your upcoming trip. So you don't have to worry about all that stuff when you get there. There are no surprises. You feel prepared and you can simply enjoy yourself. If you know anybody who's also traveling, feel free to share the video. Don't forget to click the link in my description for a special offer Ghost VPN is providing to my subscribers. It will protect your data while you browse and give you access to all blocked content on the internet for only $2.03 a month. Completely risk-free. I love it and highly recommend it. Click that link. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you all soon.